What happens when you take every great fantasy series from the last 75 years and strip away the bias? No personal favorites, no nostalgia goggles, just the cold, hard data. Which series truly rise to the top when you look at sales, reviews, and critical acclaim together? That's what I do here. I've crunched the numbers, and today we reveal the top 20 fantasy book series of all time by the data. Some of these will be obvious, some might surprise you, and at least one of them is going to have you shouting at the screen. Hey there, I'm Jim, and welcome back to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where a father and son talk about fantasy, science fiction, horror, and other nerdy things that we enjoy. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell so that you won't miss any of our new content as it comes on out. And for those of you who've been with us for a while, a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. You help make episodes like this possible. If you'd like to check out our Patreon, look down in the show notes. There's a link directly to our Patreon page. Find out the benefits you could get by supporting our channel. So, here's what I've done to create this episode, the first of a series of 3 episodes that will be coming your way. I wanted to find out which fantasy series, the big ones, have actually stood the test of time by the numbers. So, I did some researching, people. To qualify, a series has to have 4 or more books. No trilogies here, and it had to have started after 1950, giving us the modern age of fantasy as we know it. From there, I've reviewed the total estimated sales across all volumes and editions. Not the actual money that's earned, the number of copies that were sold. I also looked at the critical acclaim and the awards that have been earned by these book series. How often have critics and major reviewers recognized these series over the years? And because you gotta have some balance, I looked at the average fan ratings across Goodreads, Storygraph, and Amazon to see how readers today actually feel about these books. Each factor carried weight, and when the dust settled, I had a definitive ranking to share with you. This is not based on my favorites. This is not based on hype. This is on the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. So now, let's count them down. The top 20 fantasy book series since 1950, 4 or more books by the numbers. Number 20 on this list is Malazan Book of the Fallen by Stephen Erickson. 10 books, 1999 through 2011. A colossal, multi POV epic where mortal armies, ancient ascendants, and meddling gods clash across continents. And compassion is the quiet engine under all the carnage. It's demanding, devastating, and uniquely humane. 3 million plus copies across the 10 book set have been sold, consistently high 4-star rating averages across the core volumes. It's a perennial best of modern epic critical darling. It's got massive forum and critic discourse across structure and ambition. It's a perennial best of modern epic critical darling. Why does it get placed at number 20? Sales trail the mega franchises, but sustained critical esteem and strong reader scores keep it firmly on the board. This is the only series that hands you a glossary, a map, and a mild existential crisis. Number 19, The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant by Stephen R. Donaldson. 10 books. First one, 1977. Final one, all the way out in 2013. A deeply flawed outcast is dragged into a wondrous secondary world that he refuses to believe is real, and the stakes become cosmic. Gritty ethics, heavy ideas, and classical capital E epic. This is a multi-million seller over the decades and has strong mid to high 4-star averages, especially for the early trilogies. That last 4 books, not quite as strong. This series is cited by publishers and critics as a keystone of post Tolkien epics' commercial viability. It comes in at number 19 because of its big historical impact, its durable audience, and its respectable ratings. Modern momentum has definitely slowed down, which is why it only comes in at number 19. Heroic fantasy, where the hero would like to speak to the manager. Number 18, Realm of the Elderlings. We're talking Farseer, Live Ship Traders, Tawny Man, Rain Wilds, Fitzen the Fool, all by Robin Hobb. 16 books. These are interlinked sub series starting in 1995 and going until 2017. Political intrigue, assassin training, and a prophet's long game intertwined with dragon lore and found family. An emotion first epic renowned for its character work. Multi-million copies are sold of this globally, among the highest sustained reader scores in modern epic fantasy, according to the data. This one has multiple Locus and Nebula nominations across the works, and it's frequently on critics' lists as a modern classic. So, why number 18? The fan ratings and critical respect are elite, and the sales are strong, but not in the mega franchise tier. Number 17, The Earthsea Cycle by Ursula K. Le Guin. 6 books, 1968 to 2001. A wizard's education becomes a lifelong reckoning with power, balance, and mortality. Later volumes deepen the world's philosophy and empathy. Earthsea alone credited for several million copies, and the whole series has an enduring 4 plus star average across editions. As to awards and critical notes, well, it's got the Boston Globe Horn Book for A Wizard of Earthsea. The series has racked up numerous recognitions and awards, and Le Guin's career haul includes Hugo's, Nebulas, Locus. Why does this one come in at 17? The staggering critical weight and evergreen ratings lift it. Comparatively modest series level sales keep it mid-list. Number 16 is The Dresden Files, one of my personal favorites. So, only 16? Well, it's by the data. This series by Jim Butcher. 17 novels at this point. Started in 2000, and the series is still coming out. Chicago's only professional wizard detective solves cases, owes Fey Queens favors, and keeps surviving apocalypses with gallows humor. Urban fantasy's most reliable adrenaline shot. Long-running New York Times best-selling series. Numerous entries in the 4.3 to 4.6 Goodreads band, with very strong Amazon scores as well. It's a regular bestseller list presence, and it's widely cited as urban fantasy's gateway series. Why does it come in at 16? The enormous reader enthusiasm, like me, and the longevity of the series offset the fact that tie-in behemoths and kidlit juggernauts actually do outsell it. It's like a PI novel drank a Red Bull and learned evocation. That's the Dresden Files. Number 15, the Rift War cycle, including the Serpent War, the Empire trilogy, so many others by Raymond D. Feist, and one piece of that written with Janny Wirtz. 30 plus novels, 1982 to 2013. A portal war spirals into multiverse politicking, prodigy mages, and a very capable thief. Classic comfort epic with sprawling reach. 15 to 20 million or so copies are reported across Feist's works here, and steady 4-star reader engagement is on display. It's a longtime bestseller. TV development interest is in the works, and the cultural reach is profound. So the data puts it here at number 15 with substantial lifetime sales plus the durable fan averages, but keeps it just outside the top dozen. There's some that just have more, per the data. Number 14, we've got The Witcher Saga by Andrzej Sapkowski. I can never say his name right. 8 core novels, that's 2 story collections, and 6 novels, plus one prequel, Season of Storms. 1992 was when the first thing came out, and the latest book just came out. A monster hunting mutant and his found family navigate prophecy, prejudice, and realpolitik in a sharp, Slavic flavored fairy tale world. Grim, witty, and unromantic about power. Books passed 15 million sales by 2020. Strong 4 plus reader averages are boosted by transmedia visibility. You got the books, you got the games, you got the TV series. It's also got the David Gemmell Legend Award for Blood of Elves and multiple European awards for the stories and the collections. The strong sales are fantastic, but still below the mega series. The acclaim and fan love, though, are undeniable. Number 13 is Shannara by Terry Brooks, another series. We've got over 30 books out there. This started in 1977, and the books are still coming out now. Generational quests in a far future fantasy where relics and magic mingle. This is one of the first post-Tolkien blockbusters to punch open the mass market door. Widely reported at 25 to 30 million sales lifetime across all of the Shannara works, and a solid 3.8 to 4.3 average reader rating across these book series. 23 of these books were New York Times bestsellers. It's got an enduring cultural profile, which even got us that TV series I don't care for, the Shannara Chronicles, but it was out there and actually did have fans. The big historical sales, plus the influence on others that it has resulted in, get it into slot number 13. Number 12, Dragonlance, the Shared World Saga. The original books were by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, but many other authors have come to play. There's 190 plus novels in the Dragonlance world now, started in 1984, and books are still coming out. Gods at War, Heroes on the Road, Dragons Everywhere, a serialized high adventure that launched one of science fiction and fantasy's largest shared worlds. This has a quintessential page-turning quest vibe. Weiss and Hickman's Dragonlance novels alone sold more than 22 million copies. And when you add in all the others, we're well up over 30 million Dragonlance novels out there. Dozens of bestseller appearances are in this mix, and everybody who knows fantasy has heard of Dragonlance. That's some strong brand recognition. So the sheer volume, the sales, the solid reader affection gets us past the tie-in stigma, and we get the strong number 12. It's proof that rolling a d20 can lead to rolling in the royalties. Number 11, The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore, who just loves the fact that this actually comes in ahead of Dragonlance. 40 plus novels in the Forgotten Realms series. 1988, the first one came out, and these are also still being published. A drow ranger rejects his people's cruelty and fights for honor with unlikely friends. Big heart, bigger action. Tie-in that outgrew the label. 35 million plus copies are reported. Many entries are 4.2 to 4.5 on Goodreads and strong on Amazon. Honestly, these outperform those Dragonlance books. We've got a long-time New York Times bestseller presence and sustained popularity now for over 35 years. So the enormous sales plus durable reader love push it very close to the top 10. But let's move there then. What makes the top 10? At number 10, we have The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. 4 core novels, 2003 to 2011, and more. A farm boy and his dragon are swept into rebellion, ancient magic, and hard lessons about power. A YA-friendly epic that turned a generation of readers into fantasy lifers. 40 million plus global sales for the cycle, and strong 4-star plus reader averages. We've got some massive bestseller runs here, continuing relevance with anniversary and return volumes. Why is it only number 10? There are fewer volumes than other books that have appeared on this episode, but huge sales for just these four books and broad reader enthusiasm. So it makes the top 10. Do not underestimate the power of a dragon and a teen with destiny. Number 9 on the list, The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. There are 5 books now out in this series, which started in 2010. It's ongoing. There are more planned. There's supposed to be 10 in all. Colossal, character driven door stoppers about broken people trying to be less broken while fighting storms, gods, and physics defying magic. The modern flagship of the Cosmere. That's what we've got in the Stormlight Archive. 10 million plus copies attributed to the Stormlight Archive alone, but you also have to take into account its connection to the Cosmere books as a whole. And then there's the ratings. They are freaking sky high. Book 1, 4.6 plus on Goodreads. And books 2 through 5 actually have similar ratings. This series has picked up multiple Goodreads choice wins and nominations. The critical consensus is this is the genre standard bearer of the 2010s and 2020s. I'm not sure I'm on board with that, but the data. I gotta follow the data. And these ratings are elite. The sales are surging. They're still below the 80 to 100 million juggernauts that are still coming on the list, but the series isn't even done yet. These books are so big, they count as strength training. Check them out in a bookstore. It's unbelievable how thick these are. Number 8, The Dark Tower by Stephen King. 7 core novels, 1982 to 2004. There's also a midquel that came out in 2012. A gunslinger pursues a cosmic tower through a genre-bending wasteland to save, well, everything. King's mythic spine, equal parts fantasy, horror, and western. What an incredible series. It's often cited at over 30 million in sales, and there are strong reader averages throughout the books. It's a British Fantasy Award winner for the finale, and multiple Locust nominations appear throughout the volumes. This monumental cultural footprint and the huge sales stick it up here at number 8. It's just shy of the top cluster of the books I'm going to share according to the data. Number 7, and I feel badly that this is ahead of the Dark Tower, but again, following the data, the Belgariad and Malorian Saga by David and Lee Eddings. 10 core books plus prequels written 1982 to 1998. A prophecy, a farm boy, and a delightful band of misfits road trip towards destiny. Peak 80s quest fantasy with remarkable charm and pace. 80 to 20 million copies across these works, and the Belgarian, the Malorian are considered Eddings' crown jewels. Sturdy 4-star reader averages. These books had early mass market bestseller success and are considered frequently as gateway fantasy. You'll find that mentioned all over the internet. So these big historical sales and enduring fan affection gets it up there into number 7 on this list. Number 6, Discworld by Sir Terry Pratchett. 41 novels, published 1983 to 2015. Satirical, humane, and sneakily profound adventures on a flat world riding a cosmic turtle. Comedy that rearranges your worldview. 100 million plus sales worldwide. Many entries are 4.2 to 4.6 in the average ratings, with massive numbers of reviews actually written for these books by the fans. There's also mountains of Locus and British Fantasy Award honors. The critical consensus has this as one of science fiction and fantasy's most beloved bodies of work. So, 9-figure sales, cross-demographic reader love, top-tier placement. Come for the jokes. Stay because the jokes changed your philosophy. Number 5, A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. 5 published works of a planned 7-book series. Started in 1996 and theoretically is still coming out. Dynasties and dragons in a brutally realistic struggle for power where honor is optional and consequences aren't. A modern phenomenon with genre level influence. Again, only 5 books out so far, and there are over 90 million copies reported as sold just by 2019. Core volumes have 4.3 to 4.6 scores on Goodreads with enormous vote counts. Hugo Awards, Nebula, Locus. We've got wins and nominations across the novels. And then, of course, it led to that massive TV phenomenon on HBO. With these astronomical sales and acclaim for a series that's not even finished, it is really high on this list, but it's still edged out by the even bigger franchises above. Winter came, and so did 90 million sales. Number 4, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and finished by Brandon Sanderson. 14 main books, 1 prequel. First one came out in 1990, and the series wrapped up in 2013. A farm boy prophecy blooms into a civilization-spanning tangle of channelers, prophecies, and politics, culminating in a titanic last battle. That chapter alone is longer than some other fantasy books. This is a pillar of modern epic fantasy. It's commonly reported at over 100 million in total sales, and the ratings are strong with some mid-series dips, but then a roaring finish. Hugely decorated fandom history. There are so many rabid fans of The Wheel of Time. Zach and I are among those. And it did get a major adaptation on Prime Video that, alas, was canceled after 3 seasons, but did have some top-notch stuff happening. 9-figure sales, long tail reader devotion. It's a perennial top 5 pick. It gets my number 4. Number 3 is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Don't come at me that it's ahead of The Wheel of Time, 1950 to 1956, so it just barely qualifies into a mythic land where moral imagination wears lion fur. Simple on the surface, subversively rich underneath. Over 100 million copies have been sold over the years. Evergreen 4+ averages across the platforms. People really love these books. It's canon level status in children's and YA fantasy, and continual adaptations keep people finding these books for the first time still and diving in. So, historic sales, multi-generational affection for them definitely means they make the top 3. Come for Turkish delight, stay for the nostalgia. But number 2 on this series is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. Zach is going to love seeing that it made number 2. 5 books in the core series, 2005 to 2009, but the universe that this is part of is actually ongoing. A snarky demigod learns the Greek pantheon never left, and they live distressingly close to New York traffic. Whip-smart, teacher-approved adventure that hooked a generation on fantasy. The series and the universe tallies frequently cited at over 180 million sales worldwide, and sky-high reader satisfaction. Those ratings are very impressive. Multiple Children's Lit Awards, educational adoption, and adaptations fuel continuing growth for the series. So, with those gargantuan sales and off-the-charts fan sentiment, it gets vaulted all the way up to number 2. This is the only series where detention might include fighting a minotaur. But what's number 1? Come on, you're smart enough. You figured this out. Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. 7 books, 1997 to 2007. A boy wizard grows up under the weight of prophecy, friendship, and a war the adults failed to finish. Whatever metric you pick, readers, reach, revenue, it's the post-1950 benchmark. 600 million plus copies are reported sold. I mean, nothing else is even close. And sustained 4.4 to 4.6 averages, massively popular, and of course, a colossal cultural footprint. Who has not heard of Harry Potter? An armada of awards and a multimedia empire entrench these books as the modern fantasy baseline. By raw numbers, again, it's not even close. This is the outlier that everyone else wishes they could be, but doesn't have a prayer. And there you have it, the data driven countdown of the top 20 fantasy book series since 1950 of four or more books. Now I've got to know, what do you think? Did your favorite make the list? Are there any series that you were sure would appear but didn't? And if the numbers got something wrong in your opinion, let me know down in the comments. Which ones do you think deserve to rank higher? As always, thank you for watching, for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing the love of great stories with us here at Fantasy for the Ages. Anything you put down in the comments, I do read, and I do try to respond to all of them. Take care, keep reading fantastic tales. We'll talk to you next time.